Hi there, it's Darren Maurer back again. We're continuing with step 2 of the super spinning process. In the first step, we had created a 500 word article that was 500 words or maybe a little bit more. We're using openoffice.org again. As you can see, we built in a bulleted list right here. And you can see how that was one of our points. We got our primary keyword appearing at least 1% of the time. We aimed for 2. It turns out that it was actually 7 times appearing in the article, and there's a few spelling mistakes, and I haven't gone over or changed this article whatsoever since we last did this. So now what we're going to do is we're gonna actually flesh out the article we have. Currently, this article is about 650 words, and what we have to do now is we have to create 2 alternative sentences for every sentence that we have. This is how come we were talking about how it would triple the length of the article before we actually start spinning it. Now, when we start doing this, it is absolutely critical that we contain our primary keywords and LSI keywords in the same sentences that we have because we don't want to reduce the incidence of them. So the way we start is we pick a sentence, and in this case we're going to start with the title. We use the left squiggly bracket, and then we use what's called a pipe. Usually shift above the slash, you'll see it's a little vertical line on your keyboard. Sometimes it's next to the number 1 key, sometimes it's next to the enter key. Now that vertical pipe, well, first of all, let's write these next 2 sentences and then we'll show you what we want. Now we had extreme weight loss methods at work. Let's start again. Extreme weight loss ideas to help you. And then we put another pipe, extreme weight loss concepts for the new year. And then we put another squiggly bracket. Now we'll explain what each of these things do. Whatever is in between these brackets is what our article will show for this sentence. And what this pipe means is or. So what'll happen is each time that I run this article, the first time it might take extreme weight loss methods at work. The second time I run this article, it might do extreme weight loss concepts for the new year. The third time, it might choose extreme weight loss ideas to help you. So as you can see, each time I run this article, now instead of the same title every time, it'll come up with 3 different titles. It'll randomly pick one of those 3. Now as you can see, I made sure to use the primary keyword in each one of the sentences that I used. And that is absolutely critical because it keeps our keyword density, which was how many times the keyword appears in the article, at the ratio that we had prior. Now we just keep doing that over and over and over again. So now we go to the first sentence, we put our squiggly bracket, we go to the end of this sentence, and we make sure that we don't include the end punctuation in it, because what we're doing is we're picking a version of the sentence to appear randomly, but they're all going to end in that same period. So here we go, we've got our squiggly bracket, we put our pipe, and then extreme weight loss is one of the highest rated diet shows to ever have aired. Extreme weight, now I'm making a new sentence that is sort of the same idea, because we want to keep the concept. So well, I'll go into that in a little bit, in just a minute. Extreme weight loss is a fantastic television series which is watched by many. Now we do another pipe, and now for the third version. We do 3 versions for every single sentence. Now extreme weight loss is an incredibly often watched show by many Americans. And then we put our close squiggle. So you can see the punctuation is actually outside of that. Now, what we're doing here is these 3 sentences, we did a couple of things. One, we made sure that our keyword, because it was in the original sentence, appears again in each one of the alternate versions of the original sentence. So our keyword density is good. The second element is we read this. Extreme weight loss is one of the highest rated shows to ever have aired. So then we go into the next sentence because it has to make sense. So why are people even watching these shows? As you can see, those two sentences go together. So then we look at our alternate sentence. Extreme weight loss is a fantastic television series watched by many. And then the next sentence would be, why are people even watching these shows? And the third version, extreme weight loss is an incredibly often watched show by many Americans. Why are people even watching these shows? So as you can see, we now have three different versions of a sentence that any one of those three being plugged in will actually make sense in the context of our actual paragraph. And that is all we do. We just keep doing that for the rest of our original article. So here, we'll do it again. Plus the left squiggle, which is usually above, like you would hit shift left square bracket. Usually, again, that's next to the enter key. You'll see the little squiggle lines. I'll make sure to zoom in on it in the video so you can see exactly what it is. So why are people even watching these shows? Let's have our second version of that sentence. What is it about this show that people like so much? And then we put our pipe in again, and we do our third version. What is it about the show that people like so much? What is the draw to these type of shows? And then we put our close squiggle bracket again. So now we're done our second sentence. And as you can see, it really doesn't take very long. To be honest, creating the original article, I usually take about 20 minutes. Going through and doing this usually takes me about 10-15 minutes because I already have the idea, I already have my research. It's just a matter of creating alternative versions. And then once we're done those two things, we're usually less than an hour in. And then the spinning takes a little bit more time, and as the first time you do it, it'll take a little bit of time, but after that, it's actually really, really quick and not very, very involved. So now I'm going to continue and do the rest of this article. And now before you do this, make sure you're working on a second copy of the article. Because you will want the original. It will need to be sent to the project manager, the project initiation staff, so that they can actually see what the original article was, how it reads, what we're actually working towards. And then this will be saved as a second version. So let's say the first version of the article was extreme weight loss article original. That would what we'd call the first one. Then the second one we would call extreme weight loss article sentence spin. And this is called spinning. This is actually, these squiggle brackets are what spinning actually is. As I said, whatever is inside these two squiggles is what my software will actually show for that sentence, and the pipes denote that there's a separation. It just means or. So it'll be extreme weight loss is one of the highest rated shows to ever have aired, or extreme weight loss is a fantastic television series which is watched by many, or extreme weight loss is an incredibly often watched show by Americans. So it'll just pick one of those three versions. Now these are the two articles we have, and then after we're all done this, we'll save this as an extreme weight loss article, sentence spin, and then we're going to move into actually the little bit more involved stuff. Again, it's pretty straightforward and pretty easy, but you know, it does have a bit of a learning curve. Hopefully you're familiar with Spinner Chief. If not, it's actually quite simple. So I'll talk to you again in part 3 of the Super Spin the Super Spin series, and I look forward to I look forward to working with you again. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my entire video. I hope it gave you some great advice and tips you can use. If you have any questions about this video, please head over to my blog by clicking on the logo in the video now, by entering darrenmaurer.org into your web browser, or by clicking the link directly below the video. You may also leave any questions or comments below the video. I love hearing what my viewers have to say. You can check out my other videos and tutorials on my blog, my YouTube channel, or by clicking immediately on the one that you want to watch directly in the video you are currently viewing. And please be sure to subscribe to both my YouTube channel and my blog to get future tips and updates. Have fun!